Hi everybody that's just joining. See you guys on there. We're gonna get started. I'm gonna play just the intro of Brett and Brianna's wedding film, and we'll kind of dive in. I kind of want to just show you everything in purple here is the Multiply Media sound effects that I've used. Everything else is just random things that I have from other packs. But I'll kind of dive in and just explain the teaser. We'll take it step by step of everything, how I layered it, how I set up sound effects and all that jazz. So but let's play this intro. It's about a minute long, and I'll unselect that. So let's start.
Brianna, I can't tell you how much I love being your dad. Starting from the first day you were born, I knew you had a beautiful, kind soul. When the kids were little, we took them to the old Orsi Fair.
So I kind of start the intro with a dad speech. That was like the most important thing that I felt like could really start out the film strong. He kind of talks about her and just like this ride that she took, and how she said this awesome statement that it makes her feel like a butterfly, and how that feeling has never gone away. And so like that's the main thing that I wanted to start this intro with, and then we'll kind of just dive into the cool part of this intro.
I feel like a butterfly. And you know what? I don't think she ever left that ride. I think she still is on it.
All right, cool. So first thing, just want to dive into the film. Again, we kind of talked about, how the dad speech in the beginning here is like the main focus.
Brianna wanted to go.
So I put him first in the timeline here, and that's kind of what I wanted to base everything off of. Found this really cool song on Music Bed, which is called Northwest. And so, that's the song I'm going to go to afterwards. It's in the key of C, which is kind of important to me. And so I want to build like an ambient sound that's going to kind of fill in underneath the dad in the beginning. Also going to be in the key of C. And so I just kind of want to pick apart basically second by second of how this intro starts and how I kind of build around it. And so we'll just start from the beginning.
Brianna, I can't tell you how much I love being your dad. Starting from the first day you were born, I knew you had a beautiful, kind soul. When the kids were little, we took...
Cool. So we'll start there. We start with this piano song here that I'll kind of reference like every sound effect that I used. So this is just an ambient sound that I got off of piano. And then this is another one. So we have an ambient sound that I got off of Music Bed, and then something that drives the song a little bit more, which is just this piano sound. So I kind of just layered them on top of each other, which is really cool that you can do that. If you find the same key, they're both in the key of C, layer them on top of each other. And then the first sound effects that we have all come from Multiply Media here.
Brianna, I can't tell you.
Which kind of just creates this instance. I loved, I'm going to be going straight from romantics with her, straight into old VHS footage that I have that they sent over, which is really cool. It kind of does that transition from present day to, the story of back when she was 5. And so yeah, so we kind of I basically layered all of these sound effects on top of each other, and we'll just go one by one, kind of referencing each one and why I chose it. So so that would be a riser, and we're basically trying to hit right on the mark here where we switch over to VHS. So let's solve these next three. Kind of create a cool effect. That would be the that Super 8 projector type of sound. And then a riser, which is also something that you can find in the Multiply Media sound effects pack. Next, we'll just kind of...
And you know what? I don't think...
We'll talk about this intro, which is really cool. And this is what makes Multiply Media's sound effects packs super cool. The fact that you can break apart songs and add different, measures into a song is like really cool, and we'll kind of dive into that a little bit later. But let's just pick apart this whole section right here.
Butterfly. And you know what? I don't think she ever left that ride. I think she still is on.
Cool. So this is all done. Basically, let's see. I stopped the song. The song kind of has an abrupt stop here. And now we have space and time to just add a ton of sound effects, kind of building up a riser type of motion into the drop of the next song. And so there's I think a 4 count before we even get into the next song, which is also by Music Bed. So let's take a look at that. So this is what this song sounds like. So there's nothing here, it's just all sound effects that we've added in to kind of fill that space.
And you know what? I don't think she ever left that ride. I think she still is on.
Alright, so we'll start picking apart all the sound effects that lead up to this. So everything in purple here, again, is Multiply Media sound effects, or from their film score. And so we'll just dive in. You have all different risers, and we'll just keep adding. So this is really cool. So this is in the same key. So what Multiply Media does well is they have all 12 keys of every single type of riser you could have, and they're melodic risers. So basically, no matter what song you choose, you can always add all these risers depending on what key they're in. So that's another riser with piano. Let's see what that is. That would be a high piano. And so we're just stacking all these on for the drop. It's just amazing to like kind of dive through, really pick apart all the sound effects that they've created, and they all bring something different. So that's why I stacked 50 of them on there, which is really cool. So now we're kind of getting into the sound effects that really move this 4 count along, which is really cool. So this is kind of like a power down sound, and that's like with this drone footage, it's really easy to transition into the next part. So you basically have things powering down and then ramping back up with a new riser for that 4 count. And what I mean by 4 count is I'm counting out the last song, and just staying on beat with it into the next song.
What? I don't think she ever left that ride. I think she still is on.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're into the next song. So let's pick apart, we have a riser up to the you know, the break where we have the drum footage, and then, you know, the crazy sound effects that are going on for that 4 count. And then we have a new riser coming in to hit on the downbeat of the next song. So we're gonna build off of this right here. And so I love this song because every single measure has kind of like this crazy sound effects. I saw this like footage flashing before my eyes when I heard this song. And so that's kind of why I did this, you know, type of transition, I guess. So I kind of took that theme of just like flashing video in front there, and just kind of wanted to build on top of that. So yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Foundation Film Co. These sound effects are awesome. So and that's just kind of the beginning of what they offer in this pack. But all right, so I'm gonna build off of that music bed song and just kind of ramp it up. All right, so the first thing I want to mention from Multiply Media stuff is the melodic, I don't even know what they call this, let's see. So this would be drums, right? So they offer all these different types of drums, just different patterns. And what that does is you can take a song that you get from MusicBed and just like sweeten it. So that's kind of the term, is like you can add your own sounds into it, and make it just drive a little bit more. So if you hear the song without this, let's do this. Turn that off. So here's the original song. But I wanted something a little bit in the higher frequencies to just kind of like keep the movement going, which you'll hear here. So this is like the hi-hat sound effect, right? So this is what it sounds like by itself. Now listening with it. So it's kind of doing that. And then I add something else to add to that, which is these snare hits. So this is also from Multiply Media. So that's just I liked how grungy it sounded, and I think it fit the sound really well. So it's just something very small, but I just love adding that kind of stuff to the films. Kind of just adds to the sound all around, makes it a little bit bigger. And what's cool is they kind of explained this before, but basically this song is in 126 beats per minute. And so when you find these songs, Multiply Media will give you drums that are in 90 beats per minute and 120. And so you can just do simple math and basically find out that it's 5% faster, or it needs to be 5% faster. So if you have a song that's in 126 beats per minute and he gives you 120 beats per minute, you just times that by 105%, and then it gives you the song right on beat. So fairly simple if you like learn that concept, but I want to keep adding all the sound effects right into this spot right here. So now we're adding some glitch sound effects. And on top, you can kind of see in the video that we're adding like this VHS glitch effect on there as well. Let's go down to the next one. Just another riser. More risers, just building up all these sounds. Yeah, so that's really cool. This is kind of like a reverse or rewind effect. I don't know if this is from them, but they have something similar in their pack that does this like rewind, kind of reverse sound effect riser. So let me solo that. So that's kind of an important effect to add in there. As we reverse her shot into this drone footage. And then we kind of do that throughout this whole next part of the intro. So let me slow that. Some more glitch effects right here, and kind of bring back that theme of like scattering, you know, shots throughout the day. If we break that down frame by frame, kind of just detail shots, right? And so I'm kind of like doing an overlay of opacity, bringing the opacity down 50%, and then just random shots on top with our VHS like kind of overlay on top. And then somebody asked about this transition, which I kind of just talked about. This is something we do a lot in our films, which is actually in-camera motion. And so I'll be shooting somebody and then just like whip pan the camera around, because I know that that's going to help make a transition into the next frame. On top of that, we'll put burn effects, which you can kind of see right here. So we have a burn right on top. This is kind of what it looks like by itself. Cool. And so that's sitting on top of that transition. So that's kind of the secret sauce behind a lot of our transition stuff, is that you have in-camera movement going into the next frame. So we'll play that back. One thing I'd like to mention too is that we add a ton of audio from the day of. And so all these blue stuff is like real raw audio from the day. Let me try to show you that. So that was like a really cool moment. This is right before the ceremony, and so I wanted to incorporate them singing and dancing into the film, and I have 2 seconds to do that. So I thought it'd be really cool to kind of, they counted off 5, 6, 7, 8, and I thought it'd be cool to kind of slow it down so that their 5, 6, 7, 8 would land straight on beat with the song that I'm choosing with Music Bed, which is really cool. And so I thought that was a fun little spot to do it. This is another spot, same transition. So again, we're dancing, and then I whip pan the camera, which allows me to kind of transition back into, details of the venue or whatever you decide to do. And again, we have a little bit of a sound effect here. Let's see if I can show you what that is. Just a power swoosh. Again, Multiply Media has that too. So that's what it kind of sounds like underneath all the song stuff. Cool. The next part I kind of want to talk about is one of the coolest things with the film score pack that they've developed. And this really allows you to kind of build a unique and customized storyline. So a lot of us, I'm just going to talk to the camera because there's nothing really to see here. Hey, what's going on, guys? Let me see if there's any questions so far, actually. All right, perfect. No questions. So with storyline, basically you've been, you had to stick to the songs that you would choose, right? So you would either choose, 3 songs to use in a film, 4 songs, and you can break that down only so much. You can cut out a chorus, cut out a verse or whatever, use an instrumental track, and all that good stuff. Now with Multiply Media's film score pack, they've given you these melodies, they've given you these ambient sounds, and you can kind of like intertwine them into songs. So for example, I forget who the artist is, but I use this song in this next part of the film. Let's see, is it okay, so it's called Light and Wilderness by Tim Halperin. And so you'll see here that I'll just play it. This is using his song, and then it's going to go into a lot of Multiply Media's film score sounds, and then it's going to go back into the song again. And what that does is it gives me more room to add a speech that might be longer in length and kind of just flow seamlessly. So let's take a listen to what that is.
As your husband, I promise to love you, support you, and be your best friend. There's no one else I would want to build a life with.
One thing that I think a lot of us in this room can agree on is that to some degree...
So right now we just kind of went out of the song and we're going down and we're transitioning into Multiply Media sounds, and then we'll come back into the sound, or back into the song right here. You can see that fade out, and then we'll fade back in right on a downbeat of the song that's like really big. And so everything that you hear in the middle here, I'll unsolo this and kind of show you what's happening underneath. So here is all of Multiply Media's film score pack stuff. So as that song fades out, we're gonna fade in to all of Multiply Media's ambience, cello sounds, piano sounds, string sounds. And so right there, that's like probably like 10 to 15 seconds of their stuff that they're just like, that I'm layering on top of each other. And again, it's in the same key as Tim's song because they have all 12 keys. So you can just kind of see here in the project, you'll have Sunlight Strings Movement in the key of B. And it's really just these subtle, moment or textures that you can kind of stack on top of each other and create your own unique sounds, and choose the sounds that you want that kind of match the song that you're using already. So for example, like Tim's song right here in the beginning is very acoustic, very strings based, and so you can just go ahead and hit all your string sounds, all your piano sounds, and it's gonna match together really well. Oh, cool. Foundation Film Co. Do you find yourself using their sound effects pack more or their music scoring pack more? Or is it pretty equal? I would definitely say it's equal. Yeah, definitely equal now. Just because it's almost like once you get a tool that you really love, you're just going to use it a lot. And that's kind of what I've been doing. So I've been doing sound effects and sound design a lot in all my films since then. But once I got their pack, I found out, and it's very surprising, that they're very high quality, if not better than any other pack that I've had. And so the sound effects is something that is just like replacing all my old sound effects now. And then the film score pack is just, it's been really cool to be able to customize your songs. I'm all about trying to customize my wedding films and make them very unique, just to kind of stand out. And this really allows me to do it easily. I'm also a musician, so I've been recording stuff on piano before. I would record like ambient sounds or like little piano textures just to add into my films, but that takes a lot of time. And so this kind of just like replaces it, and they're just such high quality that it just matches all the music bed stuff really, really well. So I'm definitely using them equally, and obviously for different, uses. So I'm using the sound effects stuff for a lot of the intro, a lot of the cool, crazy transitions and stuff, and then the film score pack is more like melodic, definitely more during like the slower and emotional side of the film, because a lot of their stuff from here, it kind of just fits that. But they also do, we can kind of like just dive into what all the stuff that they offer. And I haven't played around with nearly as much as they offer. But you can see here that they have like, let me pull this back. Let's go back to here. So kind of talked about, let's see, all the pads. They have riffs and melodies. So you have, 3 different cellos, and this is all, 12 keys. So you'll have that riff in all 12 keys, and there's a couple different ones, cellos, pianos. You have rhythm stuff, which I kind of showed earlier that I've used 2 of those already. All subtle things that you can sweeten up other songs with. And then melodic risers. So I use these probably the most in the film. So this has a specific key assigned to it as a riser. And then you'll have a key C sharp. And so the list kind of goes on there. And then they have a lot of stuff in minor, so he'll mark it as major or minor depending on what the key is. So all that stuff's cool. And then even like with Music Bed right now, like you can go on there and find ambient songs, kind of dig through and find a song that you haven't used before, or just use a lot of these textures as ambient songs if you're just looking for like a 30-second gap to fill, or making a transition, or using it to go from one song or to the other. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff in there. So I'm going to continue to dive back into this section that I was kind of talking about, which is where we use the film score pack the most. Let's see. I'll let the hard drive warm back up.
To some degree, my friend Bree has brought a lot of us together. It's one of the most special qualities about her. She has this. So
again, I want you to hear like every single sound effect or sound that's kind of happening as we transition from the real song into multiply media stuff. So it kind of fades in. You have pads first, a little bit of string on top, and these you can see they're stacked like on top of each other, not edited or cut. They're literally just stacking, so it's really fast. And then it fades out and it goes into the song again, but at a bigger part in the song. So now you can literally move the song around wherever you want, speed it up or slow it down, make more room and give more breath to the film if you want to. And so I'll add that back in. But it's really cool because they have pads and ambient stuff that's like really slow and kind of monotone, but then they also have these cello textures that kind of add movement to the film too, so you can really stack it and build it up or down as much as you want. It's really cool. So there's that cello doing like some movement. And then we have a riser to go back into the song again. Here it comes. So that's really cool. So even that cello riser, I think it's here. If you look. Just kind of like that cello is like building up, right? So he specifically made that so you would have this like exact build, right? Which is really cool. So you just add these risers on top of each other. And obviously the moment where she reveals her dress to the girls is kind of like a big moment. So let's listen to it again with everything added in there.
Natural ability to bring people and friends together in a way that no one else I know does.
I promise to nurture your dreams and help you reach them.
Cool. So that kind of like breaks down that moment, and I think I do that twice again. So it's really cool. You can go from your Music Bed song that's big, this is solid right now, And then if I want, I can break it down again. Even though there's only one chorus in this whole song, I can, you know, copy and paste the choruses and build them up and bring it down because of Multiply Media's, you know, film score pack. So we do it literally again. I'll kind of show it here. So that is literally just the same song, but mixed together with the intro of the song, mixed with the ending of the chorus that we came out of. And so now this is what it sounds like with the film score pack back in. So you can really see how like their stuff just adds to the song, fills it in, keeps the movement going. And then again, it transitions out. You can see how everything fades out. And then it goes back into this intro part of the song. And now, let's see, we're gonna start building back up into the chorus and actually have them sing. So again, we're just building up, coming down, building up again. All because of their stuff they allow you to do. Let's see. Cool, so we kind of come out of, you know, being able to build up and build down and all that kind of stuff. And then this is a really cool part. So Brianna did a dance with her dad, and they did like a 10-song mashup. And so I really wanted to incorporate that into the film, but as you guys know, it's really hard to incorporate a lot of like of the day stuff with audio into a film that you're using mostly music for, right? So we're just doing a lot of like B-roll on top of our music. However, this was so important to me and to them to include like her father-daughter dance, because it's something I've never seen before, where they do 10 songs in a row, like 15 seconds each. And so I thought this would be really cool to kind of come out of it. And before we go into like cocktail and dancing and all the fun stuff at the end of the video, I kind of wanted to have just a moment dedicated to her and her dad and the dance. And so I thought about like this AM station, kind of like flipping through the channels real quick to go from one song to the other. And so I really played on that theme and kind of, I think I incorporated 2 or 3 songs of their actual dance. And then we, you know, I turned the dial again, going with that AM station radio type of feel, and transition into the cocktail hour and the ending song that I used. So I kind of want to break that down for you guys too, because I think it's really unique. So. Oh, sorry. Let's do this again. So I'm gonna play it for you. It's like 20 seconds long, and you can kind of hear all the transitions, and then we'll break down all the sound effects one by one.
Announce you, husband and wife.
Song ends, and then we go into the actual dance song. Another song of theirs. And now we're into the cocktail.
I've known Brett for over 25 years.
All right, cool. So definitely want to take you through those transitions. Again, if you're just joining, we are talking about the father and daughter dance that they did. They did a mashup of like 10 different songs. I chose the best 2 that I thought were really cool. And then do this AM station, kind of flip through the channels to hear all these different songs to transition. And so you can kind of see that breakdown. So let's do it. All right. So this is the original song that Brianna actually sent me that she played on the day of with all the mashups. So I was able to mash up from one song to the other. So I added that little sound effect in there, the AM station. So then we have another riser into the next song. Let's see what this one is. Hold on. This is also from Multiply Media's sound effect pack. A really cool sound, a little like fiery whoosh. And so let me stack these back up real quick. Cool. And this one. Into the next song. And then another transition riser from Multiply Media to take us out and into the next song for the ending of the film. Cool, and I'll just kind of go over this again. You guys keep bringing up the question about the transitions and stuff, and so definitely want to talk a little bit on that, but again, we're using just a couple of effects on top, which is one is a burn, another one is like this heavy dirt and scratches type of texture, and another VHS type of effect, like overlay of scratches kind of on top, and that just really helps me transition a lot of like fast cuts. And that's pretty much it. And so the last thing would be, we had one more song. Let's see. So another hit. So I wanted, this girl is crazy. I don't know, this is like Aunt Martha. We don't really know who she is, but she's wild. And so I just want to show you the original footage from this, because I think it's hilarious, but I also really wanted to incorporate her in, so let's see. Oh, hold on, let me find her. I will find her, I think. Maybe I won't. Bummer. Alright, so let me see if I can find her from this aspect. Where am I? Okay. We're getting there. I will find it. Here we go. So she was kind of wild, super fun, but her song came on. It was like a Brian, I forget who it was, but Summer 69 came on. And she just screams like crazy, and I thought it was hilarious. So I really wanted to just, I built this whole section off of her because the night just got wild, got extra crazy, and so I wanted to end the film here with that song, but I ended up taking it up a notch just for the last like minute and just go crazy with dance footage, and we really wanted to just showcase her and her crazy scream. So that's exactly what I did. And so we do another last transition where we have all the sound effects with risers and big hits, big drop hits, and then just go into another crazy song that I found on MusicBed as well. And then, yeah, we go into the last minute or so and just go crazy and then end it. And so that is pretty much the whole presentation for Multiply Media's sound effects packs, film packs. If you guys have any questions, want me to kind of dive into anything else, I would be happy to dive into, show you any of our other films. Meanwhile, that's like the end of the presentation. The last thing I would want to do is just show you a film that I did yesterday that I sent off to the couple that uses the exact same techniques, same sound effects for multiply media, and then the same film score, which is being able to like break down a song, go into multiply media's, you know, sounds and melodies and all that stuff, and then being able to go back into another song. It's the same thing that I kind of shared in the last 45 minutes, but I'll try to dive through it quickly for the remainder, 15 minutes or so, if for anybody that has not seen this yet. But yeah, if you guys have any questions on the films or anything, feel free to let me know. But right now I will pull up the other film that we'll kind of dive into that I finished yesterday. And let's see. All right, I'm gonna switch this around. We are going to dive into Chelsea and Jed. So this wedding was up near Tahoe. Really fun wedding. And one of the things that I loved about this wedding was the vows. She did vows to, yes, where can we buy the packs? That's a great question. I will send a link in the description after this live. Thank you, Lexi Brienne, who is also my wife. We can send a link. I don't know if I can do that right now because I'm live, but I can definitely leave a link in our stories after the live is over in 10 minutes. And that's a great question. So yeah, back to this real quick. I'm gonna dive in, go super fast. So if you're just joining us, the 10 people that are just joining us, best time to join because I'm gonna go super fast and really show you the power of Multiply Media's sound effects and the way we build our sound design. So this is Chelsea and Jed's film. I'm pretty sure they saw it already. If not, they're gonna see it for the first time right here. So here we go.
Jed and Chelsea, it is with such joy that I now send you out into the world to spread your beautiful light that you share with those around you. Now kiss and go celebrate.
Scale 1 to 10, how good was today? 11. 11.
20. All because of you, Jimmy. 20. All because of Jimmy.
All right, cool. So to answer your question, we will be saving this video for your review. It'll also be posted to YouTube later on. So yeah, really excited about this film. So the one thing, let's see, that I wanted to dive in was, like, we always try to create intros that are really like fast and fun and fast paced in the beginning to kind of capture your attention, to also recap the wedding and then dive into all the story stuff. That's kind of like our MO. It's what I do a lot. I'm not gonna say I do it every single time, but it's really fun to do and I love editing. So that is what I'm doing. And so what the first thing that I did with this song was like find a song that I really thought matched their personalities. I'm gonna dive back in here. I always need a movie editor, so if you're interested, reach out. But yeah, so the first thing I wanted to do was find a song that matched their personalities. It took a really long time, but I found this one song and I didn't like any of it except for the ending, and that's kind of all I needed. So it gave me 30 to 45 seconds worth of really cool song, and that's what I used. So you can kind of hear it here. So that song kind of hit. I really liked it, but it was really just the ending that worked. And so I cut out everything in the beginning and then used something else. I think it was like an ambient song. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even know if that's music bed or if that's, yeah, it is. It's music bed, just an ambient song. I used 10 seconds worth. Same key as the song that I really wanted to use. And yeah, we just kind of went into it. I grabbed like an audio bit from the ceremony to kind of pump everybody up, so you can kind of hear that.
Jed and Chelsea, it is with such joy.
Great honor that I call you married. Let's go. Boom. Now we're into it, right? And so I always do my classic. Oh, these are like extra sound effects of applauses. I highly suggest get some sound effects of applauses because it always like builds up. You know, it always sounds like there's 20 people at these weddings, but then you get these applauses and kind of just like trickle them in, and it sounds like 1,000 people are there. So this is what it sounds like without anything. Yeah, sounds epic, right? So turn that off. We'll kind of dive into the sound effects real quick. Ooh, a little glitch effects that we use. Also from Multiply Media. This would be a riser. Alright. Impact hit, which is really cool. I don't know if this is from them, but they have so many impact hits that they sound pretty much identical. Alright, yeah, let's build this up. So we got a little craziness. That's a little riser. Another impact hit. We're really trying to emphasize this moment with 50 sound effects. But again, every single sound effect has like a little bit just something that's different about it that really adds to the film. That's why I keep using all these. I'm going to answer some questions real quick because everybody's talking, which is awesome. Let me go through. Let's see. Do you recommend purchasing both packs? Absolutely. I use both of them like 50% of the time and use pretty much all of their sound effects now. I have like 10 different packs of sound effects, and it's just easier just to use all theirs because they're high quality and they do exactly what I want them to do. Let's see. For us musically challenged people, how the heck are we supposed to know what key a song is in? That's a great question. If you are looking on MusicBed, it tells you what key it is once you pop up the song. So it'll tell you that it's in the key of C, and then you can just go into Multiply Media's film score pack, and he labels it what key each sound is in. So that pretty much does it for you. Mixed in key is a good software for that. Oh, there you go. Let's see. Any other questions? No. Cool. All right. Moving along. So we have 7 more minutes. So if you're hanging out with me, stay with me. So yeah, just more sound effects for that moment. Let's see what this one is. This is a drop, bass drop. Really cool, subtle. And then glitch sound effects for the glitch kind of shots that I'm kind of going through real quick. Everything is only 2 frames long, so just flashes through. Sound effects for people cheering. Oh, I kind of like playing it without the song. That kind of is helpful. So let me keep. I will add all the sound effects in, so you can kind of hear how intense the intros are. Let me do that, let me do that. Or let me just mute the song. Yeah, that's a good idea, Jimmy. Alright, cool. Subtle, but also pretty important. What I like doing, Multiply Media, they give you impacts with the key. And so one of these had like a piano in it. I can't find it right now. But basically is in the same key of the song right there. So short reverse piano in the key of G. The song is in the key of G, so this impact hits really well. And that is at this part. Yeah, cool. So last thing I'm going to talk about is my favorite part of the film, which is right here. So we kind of go into like a upbeat, happy time, and then we go into a really emotional time where she sits down her husband's 4 kids and says vows to them, which is really, really cool.
Hey guys!
So I will kind of just show you here how I'm using Multiply Media's film score pack to kind of open up, let this section breathe, and then go into the next song. And so I kind of want to backtrack. I know I want to go from this happy song,
fiance and now husband to my perfect sister,
to this song, which is kind of
your beautiful smut,
more emotional, downbeat. This is in the key of C as well. And so I know I want to get to the key of C. The song I'm coming from is in the key of F. And so again, I'm so passionate about this, but it's really cool. I can take sounds from Multiply Media's stuff in the key of F and then do like a cross dissolve into the key of C, and it kind of just seamlessly transitions you into the next song's key, which is, you know, something that might sound complex, but it's actually pretty simple. You just start in the same key that you're coming out of and then transition here, slowly fade in the key of C. They're in relative majors, which is kind of like a weird term, but it works. And you can do it with almost any key. And so let me play this for you and then we'll break it down. So again, we're going from the key of F, I need space, and then I need to go into the next song, which is in the key of C. That's all I know, and I know that Multiply Media stuff is gonna help me do that. So let's check this out.
What up? Fancy meeting you here. Okay, I just wanted to take a minute to write a few vows for you guys, not just me.
So I'm using Multiply Media stuff in the key of F.
Today, as I stand here, ready to marry your dad, I just want to express how much you guys mean to me. From the very beginning.
Now we're moving into the key of C as we transition.
And for that, I will be forever grateful. You are not only an extension of your father, but also a source of amazing love and happiness in my life. The love I have for your dad is deep and unwavering, and it is only amplified by the incredible individuals that you are. Each one of you bring unique qualities and perspectives that have broadened my horizons and taught me the true meaning of family. You guys, my life is undeniably better with you in it.
So it's really cool because you are able to, you know, put as much of her speech in there as you want, make the song as long or as short as you want. Because of the amount of ambient sounds that it gives you. You can kind of just like extend them, repeat them, duplicate them, whatever you want to do. And again, he gives you ambient sounds and then also gives you melodic sounds. So you can basically add textures in there, add movement, make the song like it sounds like it's moving in a direction, and that's kind of what you want, right? Because we're gonna go from kind of just ambient and breathy and airy, and then we're gonna create movement as we go into the next song. So we're about to go into the next song, so let's check out what it does.
Love and understanding in your lives. I promise to always be your advocate, your confidant, and your biggest supporter, you guys. I'm so excited to see what our future holds. With all my love.
All right.
Love you guys.
Getting ready to drop into the next song. Here we go. So a little bit of a build up there, very subtle, but this is where the next song drops. So you can kind of see. Let's, come on, move. Move, 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 move. There we go. Come on. Everything's running on external hard drive right now, so that would be why it's slowing down.
I promise to always be your advocate.
Okay, so again, we came out of a song. We are now in pretty much, I think, all of Multiply Media's sound effects and their film score stuff, which is just ambient sounds. And I'm just stacking them on top of each other, all in the same key. They're just slightly different sounds, and when you put them on top of each other, it just creates this big ambient goodness. And then I just kind of want to pick apart this song because, let me see. This is what gives it that movement, right? So you have chord changes, different sounds, brighter. It's kind of building up. Move that back down. Here's another piano track that Multiply Media supplies, and so that's giving it more movement. So I'm just adding that towards the end, right before we transition. And then last but not least, you have the transition sounds, which is going to be like a riser, and then an impact right on the downbeat of the next song. So let me add the next song in so you can kind of hear that. So you have all just sound effects and then the next song right here. And then an impact hit right on the downbeat. And then you go in. And so that's how you kind of transition using Multiply Media's stuff. So that's all I wanted to do. It's now 101. That was a full hour. Thank you guys for kind of hanging on here, learning a little bit about their stuff. Again, I will drop a link for Multiply Media's film score stuff, and then their Flow sound effects pack. All great stuff. If you have any questions, I'll stay on for a little bit, but